So you're thinking of moving to Loveland, Colorado. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the real life pros and cons of living here in Loveland, Colorado. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is about living here in Loveland and the surrounding suburbs, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you do not miss a thing. I am Sophia Kathol and I am a Colorado native. I have lived here my whole life and I've seen the good, the bad, and yes, the ugly. I am also here to help you navigate it all so your next move to Colorado is smooth, smart, and feels so much more like you. Whether you're thinking about moving in 9 days or 90 days, all of my contact info is in the description and I'd be so happy to help you and your family make the move to Loveland, Colorado. Today we are diving into one of Colorado's absolute gems, Loveland. This is the sweetheart city. This city has a lot going for it, but like any place, it's not perfect. So let's jump into the real pros and the cons of living here in Loveland. Pro number one is the stunning scenery and the outdoor access. Let's start with one of my favorite things about Loveland. Obviously, the scenery. This place is gorgeous. You're right at the base of the Rockies, so the mountain views are basically built in. We've got Devil's Backbone for a quick hike. There's Boyd Lake for paddleboarding or floating with friends. Boyd Lake can be very busy. It's a little lake, not too big, so it can get packed, especially on the weekends. And then you have Estes Park, and that is only 45 minutes away up the canyon. So yes, you can totally go from drinking your morning coffee to mountain trails before lunch, and it's very accessible here in Loveland to get to different places. Loveland is really built for people who like to get outside because there's walking trails, bike paths, lakes, open spaces. It's all here. That's a very common theme in all of my videos that I'm making, especially around northern Colorado. There's a ton to do outside, and whether you like your weekends or you're more of a sunset stroller. Con number one is cost of living is creeping up. Now, Loveland used to be one of those towns where you could get a great house for a very, very fair price, but the word is out. Loveland is more popular. Northern Colorado is becoming more popular. So prices have definitely gone up. As of 2025, the median home price here is around $550,000. And depending where you're looking, it can vary. West Loveland is near the foothills, and that's where you're gonna find homes on bigger lots. There's acreage, a little more elbow room, and those homes usually start around $750 and up depending on your location and your acreage. Downtown is more of the 4 to 5s, and this is like the historic homes. When I think of Texas homes, I think of downtown Loveland. And then you have the east side near I-25 that has a lot of new build communities. Price does sort of depend. It can go anywhere from the 3s all the way to the 8s. Renters, you're not off the hook though. For a 2 to 3 bedroom, you're probably looking anywhere from $1,800 all the way to $2,300, which is also on the higher end. It's still cheaper than Boulder, but yes, it's not a secret spot anymore, which means prices are going to go up. Pro number two is the charming downtown and artsy vibe. Downtown Loveland is seriously so cute. It's one of my absolute favorites, and honestly, it's kind of underrated. The city has done a really great job updating the area. It was very run down a few years ago, and they did a great job of renovating it. There's a ton of cute coffee shops, there's breweries, art galleries, and a few sculpture parks. There's a ton of cute boutique shopping, some salons down there. It's super fun. It's got that small town charm, but with a little bit of an edge. They really lean into being the sweetheart city. Every February they do this very adorable Valentine's Day thing where you can send mail through Loveland and it gets stamped with love notes. So if you guys are into that, you should really look into that. You can even buy hearts with custom sayings that they hang all over the town. It's super fun. If you drive all around the town on the light post, you'll see your heart. Like for instance, you could put, "I love you, Sophia," and when I drive down, you would see the heart. It's super fun. There's also art everywhere. Loveland is a huge hub for art. They've got programs called Art in Public Places. So you'll literally see sculptures on every corner. And if you're into events, the Sculpture in the Park show brings artists from all over the country. That is a very, very cool sculpture show. And I feel like the surrounding areas do something very similar. So if you're artistic, this would be a really, really great place for you. Con number two is limited nightlife and variety. If you are coming from a bigger city, Loveland might feel a little bit quiet for you. We've got some really great breweries and cocktail spots, but not a ton of nightlife if you're wanting to get rowdy. You can obviously find that, but it's not like Denver or Fort Collins. There's one place downtown that's called the Tequila Room, and that is pretty lively. They've got DJs, there's a dance floor, they have really awesome drinks, it's super fun. They have a scorpion shot. My fiance did that once and it was disgusting. But overall, it's not super wild out there, very calm, peaceful, good atmosphere, I'd say. But if you're craving a late night food or more variety in entertainment, you'll probably find yourself heading to Fort Collins, Longmont, but Loveland does wind down early, so just something to keep in mind if you guys are hitting the town and looking for something a little bit more crazy. You're probably not gonna find that. Pro number 3, strong community vibes. One thing that I absolutely love about Loveland is how connected the community feels. There's a lot of small town energy in very good ways. The neighbors actually talk to each other and people show up for stuff, which depending on the area you're in, that's not very common anymore, which that's why I love Loveland. It's very community oriented. It just feels like family. And there are farmers markets. There's Friday night concerts on the lawn. And there's a ton of events like the Corn Roast Festival, which is held downtown. They'll close off the main street. It's a super great place to raise a family or just build real connections with people, especially if you're social. I feel like you can build a ton of great connections here. Now, con number 3 is homelessness and housing struggles. Unfortunately, every evolving city does deal with this. Loveland, like a lot of places in Colorado, is seeing more homelessness. If you've driven through downtown on 287, especially near the shelter, you've probably seen it firsthand. And if you haven't, just think of your city's homeless shelter and then the street by it. You get what I'm saying. There's been a lot of debate about what to do, and some people either support more housing options while others don't want shelters near residential areas. And the city is still figuring it out. If affordability and housing access are important to you, it's something to keep on your radar and to watch out for, but I do truly believe that you see this in every city. Pro number 4 is the prime location for commuting and adventuring. Loveland's location is honestly one of the biggest perks. You are about 25 minutes from Fort Collins and you're under an hour to get to Denver International Airport, and you're also right by I-25 for easy access north and south. That is our main interstate going north and south. There's even a little airport in Loveland that's talking about launching flights to places like Cali, Arizona, and Vegas. They did this previously years ago, and I believe that they're bringing it back, and I think they're gonna fly Allegiant or possibly United, which would be a huge game changer, especially if you travel for work. That'd be a huge hub for that. For weekend trips, you were so close to Boulder, Estes Park, and even ski resorts. You get the slower pace of smaller towns without feeling far away from everyone, and that's what I like. You would just get in your car. Depending on the ski resort that you're going to, you can get there in an hour, some are hour and a half, 2 hours, sort of depending on that, but you're very centrally located to head further north or go down south. You're not far from much. Con number 4 is political tension and local debates. So this one depends on your perspective, obviously, but Loveland does lean more conservative than cities like Fort Collins or Boulder, and that is not a good thing or a bad thing necessarily, just different and depends on your perspective. But when it comes to big issues like homelessness or housing development, things can get pretty divided and can get a little bit messy. But like I said, that's in all towns, cities, whatever you might be. I think that's a common issue. There's been pushback on new shelters, and local politics can feel kind of stuck in places sometimes. So if you like fast change or progressive politics, this might feel a little bit slow for you. If this video is helping you get a better feel for Loveland, let me know in the comments or shoot me a message if you've got questions about neighborhoods, pricing, or just even where to start looking. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, I would love to help you make a move to Colorado, and all of my contact info is below. Okay, pro number 5 is year-round recreation, and let's talk about the Loveland ski area. I think that's the one really awesome thing about Colorado is skiing can be pretty centrally located and not too far of a drive. Loveland makes it super easy to stay active year-round. There's rec centers, bike paths, open space, there's sports leagues that you can join with your kids. It can be co-ed, adults, you name it, we have it. And if you like skiing, like I said previously, Loveland ski area is only about 90 minutes away. and it's actually one of the most affordable ski passes in Colorado too. But even if you don't ski, there's plenty to do. But I do believe you can get a 4-pack to Loveland for fairly cheap. If you want to look into it, I believe if you just go to lovelandski.com, it'll pop up. But there is plenty to do if you're not into skiing. There's boating at Boyd Lake, there's golf courses, walking trails, or you can just sit there with a cocktail in hand and enjoy the mountain views. You guys, the sunsets here are incredible. Con number 5 is traffic and limited public transportation. It's terrible, not LA by any means, but it's not as smooth as it used to be. Highway 34 gets pretty backed up during rush hour, and getting across town can take longer than expected. Highway 34 can take you from Greeley all the way to Estes Park, so it's our main connect to Loveland. And then the public transportation, honestly, yeah, not very great. I know that's something that they're really working on, but right now, not the best. There are a few buses, but if you don't have a car, getting around isn't the easiest, and ride shares are available, but not like bigger cities, so expect longer wait times. So yes, unless you live right downtown, you'll probably need your own car to get around comfortably. Unless you work local, like I mentioned, you could ride your bike, you could get a scooter, but going from downtown to the interstate might be a little bit different. Pro number 6 is family friendly and the decent schools. This is what I really like about Loveland, and I've had many clients say the exact same thing. Let's zoom out and talk about schools real quick. So the Loveland is part of the Thompson School District, which actually covers a bunch of the surrounding towns as well. Berthoud is included in the Thompson School District, so you have Berthoud and Loveland, and they have almost 15,000 students across the whole board, and it's pretty solid. It's a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which is actually way better than the average, so I'm sure if you were a parent with kids, you'd like to hear that. I looked on niche.com, and it did rank the district number 35 in the state, and it gets a lot of love for things like athletics, solid teaching staff. A couple standout schools are Turner Middle School, which is in Berthoud, and then you have New Vision Charter, which is in Loveland on the west side of town, and they both have some awesome ratings, and parents say that the staff here are super involved and actually care about the kids. I went to Turner Middle School way back, and I'm here to say the exact same thing. They do truly care about you guys. And then you have Loveland High School, and that is a very strong option too if you got high schoolers with good academics and plenty of extra activities. I do know their sports program is fairly good. I hear from a lot of parents that they feel really supported here. So if schools are a big factor in your move, this area definitely holds its own. If you guys want to go to niche.com and plug in the Thompson School District, it will give you the lowdown. That way you guys can do your own research and look at the information. Con number 6 is the diversity and a little less buzz. So Loveland's definitely growing, but I will be very honest with you guys, it still feels pretty similar all around. You're not gonna find a ton of cultural diversity or the fast-paced city vibe. So if you're someone who loves trying new foods every night or being in the middle of a super dynamic scene, you might feel like it's missing that little spark. But that being said, you can live in Loveland and get that small town feel, and then 20 minutes away you can go to Fort Collins, or you could go to Denver, which is an easy drive, so you can still get your big city fix without having to live right in the middle of the chaos. That's what I really love about Loveland. Like I said previously, it's very centrally located, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, and you truly have everything that you need around you. So that's a huge perk of Loveland. That is the inside scoop. Loveland is beautiful, peaceful, and very full of charm, but like any city, you guys, it has growing pains. Whether you're drawn to the scenery and community or feeling cautious about the cost and pace, I hope this video gave you some clarity on moving to Loveland, Colorado. If you're thinking about moving to Loveland, Colorado, whether that's 9 days or 90 days or just anywhere in Colorado, I would love to help you. I am Sophia, and I am born and raised here, so I know the good, the bad, and the ugly, so feel free to reach out anytime. My contact info is listed below, and I hope to see you guys on my next video. Bye!